Taking up the GSMA challenge, Motorola launches the first ultra-low-cost phone. T-Mobile calls for an end to handset subsidies with the creation of simpler tariffs. And the doctor will see you now, diagnosing mobile data ailments. Hello there, I'm Robert COREN and this is the Telecom TV news desk on Tuesday, February the 15th, 2005, day 2 of 3GSM World Congress. Later on in the programme I'll be joined by Telecom TV's Martyn Warwick, who'll be sharing his views of the event, what's hot and what's not. Now, according to the GSM Association, 80% of the world's population have wireless coverage, but only 25% are using mobile services. The industry body wants to provide a catalyst to kickstart mobile penetration into a user segment previously considered unreachable. And the way to do it, apparently, is with handsets that cost just a few dollars to produce. Motorola has been chosen to supply the first of these ultra-low-cost handsets with an initial volume target of 6 million in 6 months.
We were very pleased to see that Motorola was the winner coming out of this tender, because they not only had the right product, they not only had the right price point, but they also shared the vision that we shared, which was the idea of penetrating this market and to do so from a social and economic benefit standpoint.
And the GSMA got some operators together, and we have been able to lower the price point to 40, sub 40, and eventually going to $30. It is my belief that the next 50 or 100 million customers now can come much faster than we would have already anticipated.
In many countries, mobile phone subsidies are a common way of tying in users to long-term service contracts. You pay well below cost price for a new handset and then pay higher monthly fees for the rest of your life. Now, though, wireless operator T-Mobile has called for an end to this somewhat controversial practice. It also wants to see greater simplicity and transparency for service tariffs.
The market in general has become very complicated. Walk down the high street on a Saturday afternoon or open one of the high street shops magazines, and there's a bewildering array of tariffs, tariff types, price plans, and I think what we have to do is get some simplicity back in too. So we'll take away a lot of the subsidies going on just now. We'll get to a much more simple set of tariffs, and I think that in itself will help us in terms of where we're trying to go.
So you've come all the way here to Cannes to market connectivity, and what do you get? An often salutary lesson in just how hard it can be to get a data connection sorted. The organiser of 3GSM have set up a booth in one of the lobbies here to help visitors diagnose and treat data connectivity problems. The service is called the Mobile Data Doctor. Getting Wi-Fi up and running seems to be a particular problem here in the Palais, and according to the company behind the Mobile Data Doctor, delegates here could learn a thing or two about usability from studying the patients attending surgery.
A large number of the things that we actually handle at the moment are not just to do with getting people configured and up and running, but when they are configured, how do I actually use the service? And I think a lot of lessons can be learned from looking at web usability, where usability experts will tell you should never be more than 3 clicks away from the desired piece of content you want to get to. When you take a multimedia messaging service, for instance, many of the applications are 15 clicks away from when you actually get to send off your multimedia message. So I don't think the user experience is anywhere near as seamless as it can be.
Still to come in Tuesday's news desk, Telecom TV's essential analysis of day 2 of 3GSM World Congress. Don't go away.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see.
HP Services and Technology help the world's great companies face, manage, and love change. HP. Invent.
Welcome back. Well, a little earlier to discuss day 2 of this show, I was joined by Telecom TV's Martyn Warwick. So Martyn, you've been getting opinion on the move to Barcelona.
I have. I've been up and down the Croisette, as it were, talking to people, and there's a lot of mixed feelings. Some people think this is a great place and it's a wonderful opportunity for networking, although the venue is a bit played out and a bit too small for what's going on. And quite a few people have be glad to get away and say, yeah, that's enough of this 10 years, it's time to move on. There's a general consensus of opinion that they'd be glad to get away from the restaurants on a croisette and in Cannes, because it's generally believed that the rudest waiters in the world, for which France is world famous, and specially drafted into here for the week of 3GSM and let loose on the population. And if you saw the state of the croisette last night and the night before, you would understand what I was talking about.
When dinner was delivered last night, I got a Gallic shrug when I pointed out that it wasn't actually what I'd ordered. Certainly true about the restaurants, although I have to say I shall miss Cannes a little bit. Let's talk about that T-Mobile story, though, that we had in the news. Interesting comments there coming from your interviewee.
Yeah, I interviewed the CEO of T-Mobile in Germany, Brian McBride, who was saying that basically now that in most industrialised states the penetration of mobile is at such levels, over 84% in Germany, for example, over 80 in many places, over 100 in some others, there aren't many new to the world people who get to join up. Those that want a phone have probably got one already. But the companies have got to continue making revenue, they've got to continue making increased profits wherever they can, and they need a way of doing this. And this is what all this business is about, increasing ARPU, average revenue per user, and ARMU, average margin per user, is coming from. And he's saying that what they need to do is basically grasp the bull by the horn and stop subsidising handsets, at least to the same level that they are now. Make handsets more expensive and make the contracts longer. He's talking about 22 or 24-month contract, where most of them are a year, and a lot of people wriggle out of them before then. And in return for that, he's saying the subscribers should get a better deal. They should get genuine prices at tariffs they can understand, because tariffs are strange beasts, to say the least of it. They should get a clear tariff, and they should be able to know that they're going to get good customer management. What happens very often is all these companies say, we are subscriber-centric, you are everything to us, and when you ring up with a complaint, they actually couldn't care less. A lot of people say to us, you're just another number. He's saying we've got to stop doing that and put our business where it should be, which is with the consumer.
It's going to be a bit difficult if the handsets are very expensive and the contracts are very long. That's a bit of a difficult circle.
It's going to be difficult. He's saying it's got to come, and he thinks they should do it. But the quid pro quo for that, being locked in, would be better treatment and presumably cheaper prices in the end.
Martin, just give us a hint of what you've made overall of this show here.
It's the industry. There's no one big story here at all. There's lots of smallish announcements. There's lots of people doing good business. There are an awful lot of people here. But it's the industry carrying on growing. It's not a mammoth, we have changed everything this year. It's consolidation and continuation. And everybody's feeling pretty perky and pleased with themselves, I must say.
Martin, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And we'll no doubt be hearing more from Martin later in the week. Don't forget, all of our exclusive interviews from this year's 3GSM World Congress are available to watch at our website, www.telecomtv.com. Tonight sees the 10th GSM Association Awards at Les Ambassadeurs here in Cannes. We'll have a full report in Newsdesk tomorrow and, of course, on telecomtv.com. Until then, from me and from all the team here, bye-bye.